Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about Coyote Songs by Gabino Iglesias. And this is from Broken River Books. And it has a great cover. And Coyote Songs is a mosaic novel, I suppose you would call it. That's what the author says in his acknowledgments at the end. So that's what I'll call it. Which means basically you have these different stories with different characters that all connect in some sort of way. And uh, so each chapter is the name of the character that it's about. And we have a young boy who wants vengeance for the death of his father. And we have a coyote, as they're known, who just wants to transport children across the border, get them to safety. There's a female performance artist in Austin, Texas. I believe it's Austin where she's at. We have a young man who's just recently gotten out of prison. We have the Bruja, who is essentially the ghost of a woman who died tragically and whose family died tragically. And the mother, as the one is known, who has something not quite human inside her. Trying not to give anything away. So I didn't give you these in the order that they are in the book, and they each, I believe, follow the same order. So we have the young boy, then I'm going to take a quick look here. Don't mind me. We have the young boy, yes. Then the mother. Then I believe it's the coyote. And then, maybe it's, yeah, the coyote. Then Jamie, who's the young man who's recently gotten out of prison. Then I believe it's Alma, who is the performance artist, and then La Bruja. I think I said El Bruja, but it's La Bruja. My pronunciation is horrible, and I apologize. So, we have all these different stories, and they are all connected in some way, some more strongly than others. Some connections are tangential. But it does all fit together, as I said, in this mosaic. And we follow in order each character, and eventually we see how it all sort of fits together. So that's the nutshell, essentially. Again, without trying to give too much away. Now, first of all, I've mentioned before, if you've watched my reviews in the past, at least recently since I've been back, I typically record on Saturdays. I'll do however many videos I'm going to do them all at one time. But I literally just finished reading this 10 minutes ago. What is today? It is Tuesday. And at first I couldn't decide. This book is so powerful that I was torn between waiting until Saturday and letting it percolate in my head and just doing it immediately, and while it was fresh and I still had that visceral feeling. Obviously, since I've told you I'm doing this on Tuesday, you know what won out. So that's why I just wanted to jump on here, talk about this. Of course, you're not going to see it for a few days because I have a schedule that I keep. But yeah, wow. This is a powerful book right from the start. The first chapter, and I know I'm going to say this wrong, but it's Pedrito. I'm not sure. And I don't know why my brain wants to make it Perdido, but it's Pedrito, or however it's pronounced. I don't know. But that's the young boy, and it just starts with this young boy on a fishing trip with his father, and we're getting to know his character and about his father and his family and his life, and then bam, shit goes down. Um, and from that moment on, I just did not know what to expect, had no idea what was going to happen. And as we moved into each chapter, each character's story, um, they each have their own flavor, and they each pull you into life. I want to say on the border, on both sides of the border, North America and South America. Well, I guess it's all North America. Um, Someone mentions South America in one of the chapters, but yeah, it's all North America, of course, but it's north and south of the border is what I should be saying. And the author's writing is very visceral, and it pulled me into a culture that I'm not familiar with, but it immersed me in this culture, and not just because there's quite a lot of dialogue that is in Mexican. I know there's a difference between Spanish and Mexican, since this is south of the border. In North America, I assume I should call it Mexican. I'm not sure, but either way, it's not just the fact that a lot of the dialogue is in Mexican. It's the way that he writes immerses you into the lives of these characters and what they're going through. I haven't felt this sort of immersion in a culture that's not my own, or a life that's not my own, I think, since reading Jacob's Curse, I believe it is, by Rath James White. I'm looking over at my Rath James White books. Um, and that book sort of immersed me into, I believe it's East Philadelphia, and that life, a life that I've never experienced, a life that I never could experience because of who and what I am. And this certainly immersed me into things that I am aware of, but have never been a part of. And this is a sign of great writing. The fact that it could draw me in, it could make me feel a little bit like I'm there, like I'm a part of it. Um, wow, it's a gut punch of a book. I've said that in other reviews, but it absolutely, not that I didn't mean it before, but I, it's, man, just amazing. Um, the characters, I really like the Coyote. He's got the feel of an anti-hero. As a big comic book fan, I do like straight up heroes, but I've got a soft spot in my black dead heart for the anti-hero. And Coyote has that feel, and there is a padre that he visits, who is as we only get to see him for a little bit, but a very interesting character. I would actually love to know more of his story, uh, because we just get glimpses, just a touch, but the way uh, Gabino Iglesias, hopefully I'm not mangling that too much, the way he writes, even though we get these little bits that give us essentially the information we need for this character, Padre, I want to say it's Padre Frank. Yes, I'm lucky I found it that quickly. We have all the information we really need, but there's just there's so much story there. I would love to have. I could see a full book just about Padre Frank. I feel like I'm rambling, but that's again, I've not even let this sit in my brain. I just wanted to get this review out there. Um, so the Pedrito, however you, I know I'm horrible, uh, is his story is pretty interesting, and where it goes, and the mother is probably the weirdest story, I would say. Even now, I have to look so I don't mess it up again. La Bruja. Even though La Bruja is essentially a ghost, um, her story isn't as weird as that of the mother. Um, but it's, man, there's so much love in this book, and so much anger, and it's just like it's a roller coaster of emotions between two covers. Um, Alma's story pretty much ended the way I expected. That was the one. I mean, it's still a great story, and there's some very powerful writing in it. Um, but that one did. It seemed a bit telegraphed. Um, Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. Some of the others did not go the way that I expected. Um, One of them actually is relatively short compared to the others. As far as like each character has their own story, and one of those characters' stories is much shorter than the others, but still is powerful, still is interesting to me. Um, so I'm not sure what else to say. I haven't even been back to Goodreads to rate this, but I'm definitely giving it 5 out of 5. Um, just fantastic writing, fantastic storytelling, um, immersion, emotion, just powerful, powerful stuff. This is the only thing I own by this author at the moment. I don't know if I've read any short stories by him or not in any of the various anthologies that I have, but I'm absolutely going to be picking up more of his stuff. I believe his first book is Zero Saints. Um, so I definitely, I mean, that's next. That's going very high up on my list of books that I'm going to be picking up as soon as I have the chance. Love this cover. I believe a limited edition of this one has just come out. Unfortunately, I think it might be sold out, but I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. But it also has a great cover. I love this cover. There's a Zero Saints that has a limited edition. It doesn't matter. Just look up Gabino Iglesias and buy his stuff and read it if you want turmoil in your brain, or just good reading. Um, there you go. 5 out of 5. Coyote Songs. Gabino Iglesias. Broken River Books. I'll have a link for it in the description below, of course. So I'm not sure what else to say. I'm still just, my brain is just going and going. So if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. We can talk spoilers, get into more specifics if you like, but just post spoiler warnings because we try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's all I've got for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.